Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Now, as of this taping, college football is technically still on, at least in the SEC, but of course that could change any minute now. Let's hope it doesn't, but it could. But we want to kind of hear more about what the players' perspective has been on that. And for that, I want to welcome in from the Lexington Herald-Leader, Josh Moore. He covers the University of Kentucky, the beat writer for the football team. Hey, Josh, how are you?
I'm good, Mary Jo. It's kind of, this wasn't how I ever thought I'd be making my Hey Kentucky debut, but we got to do what we got to do during these trying times.
Well, I'm
everybody.
glad you're finally on Hey Kentucky. Good to have you. So the hashtag We Want to Play and Let Us Play. We've seen it kind of trending all over since last night. Started, I guess, unofficially with Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback from Clemson. But a lot of other players have chimed in too, saying, hey, we do not want this college football season canceled. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I've seen several Kentucky guys. More today. I've seen a few more this morning. Kelvin Joseph, Quentin Bohanna, a lot of names that people are familiar with. A lot of Louisville players last night really chiming in, getting a lot of their voice heard. The thing that kind of struck me, and it's kind of interesting, watching it all unfold last night, as you saw a lot of big names in the sports, Justin Fields at Ohio State, Trevor Lawrence, like you mentioned, really kind of at the forefront of it. But Kentucky Wesleyan, of all places, was kind of stood out to me. I mean, it seemed like they were very organized. Every probably half their roster was tweeting about it last night. They really wanted to play, and unfortunately, they actually got the news today that their season's been postponed to the spring. Like a lot of the smaller conferences, D2 schools. It's great to have that movement and see that and have that voice out there, and I'm sure it's at least considered, but I don't know how much weight a Twitter hashtag really will carry with college presidents who have 30,000, 40,000 students in some cases to think about, in addition to 100 football players.
So I get it. I'm glad the players are speaking up, but those that are in power have struggled to listen to players over the years, whether it's COVID, whether it's name and likeness, whether it's just getting paid to play college athletics. The players' voices often go unheard. And I feel like you used the word organized a couple of times. I feel like they're starting to try to figure out a way where they can organize and create a union, for lack of a better term.
That's good that you mentioned, for lack of a better term, because an actual union is a very a tricky, complicated thing that I don't think a lot of the state college players would technically not even be able to, wouldn't have any real standing. But it is, kind of, you've seen like what the Big Ten and the Pac-12 in the last week or so have kind of, a lot of players have come together and kind of formed these groups and talked to lawyers and, formed these letters. I saw about 30 minutes ago, actually, a lawyer who says he's representing, I should say, the ACC and SEC, some players from those conferences sent a letter kind of asking for some similar your waivers and things that to kind of, if a season does happen, we want these things in place. What's troublesome, what you hate to see is, units like that form, and maybe, it says we represent the majority of players, but a majority could be like 51%. You can still have 100 some guys or hundreds of other guys who think a completely opposite thing and just want to go out there and play and don't really care about any of those demands. So you kind of create this turmoil, I would think, in locker rooms and within in the league. So it's troublesome from that standpoint. But again, if you're college athletic leadership, you see that, you have to at least, maybe you don't acknowledge it, but you have to look at that stuff and know that it's happening. And it's got, I would imagine it's in the back of their minds as they're making these decisions.
Well, hopefully the players are being thought of, both safety-wise and the fact that they want to play. Josh, thank you for debuting yourself on Hey Kentucky. I wish it was under better circumstances. We were talking about the start of the season, and if we do have a season, we'll bring you back on to preview it. Promise.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, thank you. Josh Moore from the Herald-Leader. Check out his stuff. It's great. More Hey Kentucky right after this.